So this week we're going to talk about personal pronouns. So pull out your chart book, turn to the personal pronouns chart section starting on page 44. Make sure you have a pencil with you because we're going to be filling these in as we go along. Now in English as well as Latin, a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. And interestingly enough, the word pronoun comes from the Latin words pronomen. Pro is a preposition that means on behalf of, and nomen is a word you see all the time at the top of your page and ask you to write your name. So it's on behalf of a name. Now, personal pronouns specifically refer to a person or thing from the speaker's point of view. So I, we, us, you, y'all, he, she, it, they, me, them. You know all these already. And the verb in Latin already contains the personal pronoun. So, however, if the Romans really wanted to emphasize the subject, they would add a personal pronoun. Ego, kuro would mean, well, kuro on its own means I run. Ego kuro on its own means I run as well. It does not mean I run, even though if you translated it directly, that's what it would be. So they did it just to emphasize the I in that case. They wanted you to know that it was I who was doing the running. So first and second personal pronouns have case and number. They do not have gender. And that's true of both in English and Latin, which is great because that means you only have to memorize one set for singular, one set for plural. You don't have to memorize the separate masculine, feminine, and neuter forms. So there are separate third person pronouns. We're going to talk about those in a minute, but go ahead, take a moment to fill out your personal pronoun first and second person charts. So pause the video, come back when you're ready. So if you take a look, you're going to see in here, you've got the same English words that you are already used to, which is great because you don't have to memorize these parts. If you know that this entire chart means y'all, then all the rest of it's easy. Really, the only thing you have to memorize is the Latin, and you do have to memorize the Latin because for first person and second person personal pronouns, I am making you memorizing it. We will have a quiz next week. You will take the quiz until you get it 100% correct. And the reason is you don't want to be looking these up every single time. That just takes too long. So do take your time and memorize those. So it is ego mehi, mei, mihi, me, nos, nostrum, nostri, nostrum, nobis, nos, nobis, tu, tui, tibi, te, vos, vestri, vestrum, vobis, vos, vobis. Chant them till they're coming out of your ears and your brain and your nose, because that's the only way you're really going to remember them. So just memorize them. I think it's much easier if you memorize them just straight down, then here, and then straight down again, straight hand, or you can memorize them ego mei mehi me tu tui tibi te. So however that's going to work for you, just make sure that you have those memorized. So sometimes the preposition cum, which you already know means with, right? And the pronoun that takes, so cum takes the ablative, you know that. Sometimes it is with a pronoun, but it's used as a suffix. And a suffix, a preposition, a preposition in front of, usually a preposition goes before. This time the preposition is a suffix, which means suffix simply means it's on the end of the word. You might see me plus cum, right, would become one word, me cum, which simply means with me. Okay, so you're going to see this word a lot, so just get familiar with it and know that that just means with me. Now, with the genitive, the genitives of ego and tu were not used to indicate possession. That's what we normally see genitive for. Latin actually uses a special possessive adjective for that purpose, which we're going to learn later. It's actually a really easy thing to learn. But we'll learn the other uses later. But one use for the genitive pronoun, and that would be these, right? These, and then the second person, these, is you already know this. And one of the uses is the partitive genitive. And partitive means part of something. So if I wanted to say part of you, I would say pars tui, part of you. Now, nostrum and vestrum are the partitive genitives. So they are the partitive. You have to remember. You have to memorize both of them, but only nostrum and vestrum are the partitive genitives. So if I was going to get rid of all this to show you what you don't need to, what you need to know vestri, nostri, but you're not going to use them for the partitive, and they have a different use. And so for right now, you can ignore them, only other than the fact that you have memorized where they go. All right, let's look last thing at third person pronouns. So third person pronouns in both the English and the Latin have gender. These you're not being untested on these next week, but you do need to know them. The singular forms have some new endings, but the plural forms look really familiar. So if you look at the plural forms in masculine, right? E, orum, is, os, is, I, arum, is, as, is, and then neuter as well has the a, aurum, is, is. So those are pretty easy. One of the things that makes Latin easy is if you can memorize or find patterns in it, it'll be so much easier to learn them, and they just decline, right? It's just an e. If you look all here, it's just an e, 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 e with all the regular first and second declension endings. So you should know that it's is, ia, id, and then these down here, I, and and then put them with an e. So an e is the stem. That's got to be easy. So just go down those in your head. Those will be really easy to remember. They have the same English of, to, for, by, with, from, except it's they, their, them. And then first person. So these are a little bit different. This is still the same, okay? Of, to, for. So those are easy. He, she, it, is, ia, id. Now the endings on these are a little bit different. They have some new endings. Some are close. That the o, e, right? And the a, the o singular here. So, and the I. Okay, so some of them are familiar, some a little different, same, but remember with neuter, nominative, and accusative are always matching. All right, go ahead and fill those out, and we'll talk more about them in class.